What's up, fam? My name's Kiahonfire, and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today we're doing a very exciting DLC showcase on the Architects of Argos. This will be showing off all the new bits and pieces from the DLC that has been released today, and I hope you enjoy them all in their wonder. It is actually one of those DLCs that I really struggled to get onto one of my sets. It is actually the biggest one that I've had to struggle with. I thought Decorative was bad, but this one, it has so much content in it, it's ridiculous. So, if I turn around, you can see we have a wonderful arrangement of items. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely incredible. You got something like a siren being murdered off by one of the Greek people. I know it's probably not a siren, probably a different mythical creature right there, but oh my goodness, is it cool. It looks high and mighty. It is an absolutely wonderful main stage piece. Fountain. And then they have two smaller ones. They have one over here that, I mean, it is just beautiful. I'm in love with it. The fire, the water effect is amazing. The fish dropping out. And yes, you can drink from all the fountains. This one is actually a wall fountain, as you can see it has a flat back, which means it goes up against the wall. Or you could place two next to each other and they can become a round fountain. Then the last fountain here, it is one with squid tentacles going upwards. They have the lovely new water effect in there. There's fish gushing out the water. And then it's quite simple, quite small. It's really nice though. So in this DLC they have two lights. This is one of them and this is the other one. And as you can see, it is very large, but it looks very nice as well. Got a nice pattern. It's good for palaces or anything like that. And I suppose since we've already been over some of the fountains, we might as well go over some of the other big stuff, such as this entire statue here. I love the cracking on the outside. It looks really authentic and a really nice texture actually, marbly. And then you have this horse on top with the warrior holding his spear and shield. Then you have this other massive one that is quite big in comparison to the ones from the Aquilinonia DLC. You can see that it is mighty, tall and mighty, holds a fork, has an armor set that you can actually have in the game as well, so you could be like the statue. Then they have a slightly smaller statue, which is very, I mean, people, I guess they were like that one for a certain reason, yeah. But again, it's very well made, I think. And then we have the new addition to this DLC, something that is not in any other DLC. This is the free tier pillar. So these pillars are actually stacked up on top of each other. You can use them in whatever form you like. You can actually stick an original normal pillar in this too. So if you didn't want the top, you could make it really thin up and etc. But you can see you have the base, you have the middle, and then you have the top with an actual topper that makes it look like it's supported. So that is great for big buildings. Then if you're not about that big pillar life, you can go for a small one. It has a nice cut edge with gold around it as well. They also have a bed in this DLC that I must say is actually my favourite bed now in the entire Conan Exiles franchise. I think it's beautiful, and I might be a little bit biased because I like blue, so don't blame me, but I think it's a lovely looking bed. Then they also have a very royal looking chair and table. If you saw as well, there's actually little fishies on the bottom of the table legs, so that is pretty sweet. Then they have the Argos Artisans table, which also looks really cool as well. You can see that it's got all these little pots and bits and pieces on it. I would even use this as part of the decoration, just on its own, the crafting station. They also have some really cool flagpoles in this DLC. They have a different design in comparison to all flagpoles. They have a bit of marble there, then they go up this pole, and then they have a little topper there that's quite seen throughout this DLC. And as you can see on both banner designs, you have different ones, so you could have like a red palace or a blue one. One has a kraken on it, the other one has a gladiator helmet on it. Then they also have some really nice tapestries and stuff like that. So you can see here, this is just a really big wall tapestry. It would look much better probably on a 2 high 4 wide kind of setting here. This pillar from the gate doesn't do it justice, but it is very pretty. That, and they have a really large carpet now as well. You can see the circle, the big main bit of carpet, and then it tapers off into a diamond. The other carpet they have as well, I really like this design. You have the head in the middle, Then the pattern on the outside and that blue again. Very nice looking and very fresh actually. And I believe that covers all the different bits of items. Now we can talk about more building piece wise. Now I'll be honest with you, I was extremely skeptical on the look of this because I saw that it looked a lot like the Aquilonian DLC. I was like, I'm not sure about this. I think this is a little bit, you know, I don't know. It's a little bit too similar in some regards. However, I think they have just gotten away with it in my books because the different features on this, such as the window and the patterns around it, and they've actually made it more bricky instead of marbly actually with this DLC. Yes, the textures are a little bit samey on the inside of the wall, as you can see. It is very, very similar to the Aquilonian. However, they do have that nice bottom bit on the wall as well. And the design is different with the window piece. So I feel like they've kind of gotten away with it a bit there. But I do still think it's a little bit similar. I don't know what you think. Tell me what you think. But I really actually dig the gold. I actually would prefer this over the Aquilonian one anyway. With the designs on it. Which is amazing for me to say because the actual Aquilonian one is one of my favourite DLCs since it has a lot in it and it looks very regal and very smart. But you can see here with the door, I really like that door design. I was really worried that that was too similar to the other door design, but now I've seen it in actual person. It does have a different texture on it, and of course it has different beveling as well. And you've got all these borders in gold and it looks fabulous. So, you know, I think they've gotten away with it this time. And may I say, this gate, oh my goodness, this is my favourite gate now. Look at this, pillars on the side, look at the top of it. It has a trim with gold bits. Oh my goodness, I am in love with this gate design. And not only the gate, the actual railings are really awesome too. You have these toppers that actually connect when you put them together to make the design into a whole design. And then I really am digging the actual wooden part in the middle with the contrast of the white on the outside. It just looks stunning. And then you have this really nice piece awning here. You can see that it looks really nice because I can imagine you could have some vines or maybe some garden pieces hanging off this or something or other. That would really complement this really well. But again, oh my god, this awning is so smart looking. And let's talk about roofing as well. Have you seen this? This is the roof piece. This is a ramp piece. You have this crazy looking trim thing on the end of this actual roof that I like. It's quite different. And then you have the slates here. But they aren't like normal slate colour, which I'm really glad about. They have this nice tan, Mediterranean looking tan on it that I think will look really good on some buildings. It's different from some of the other DLCs, so that's really nice. Then you have the trapdoor. There you go. Very self-explanatory there. Then you have the triangle roof pieces and the normal ceiling pieces there. You've got a different design on the actual triangle part, which I thought was interesting, because usually it's kind of similar to that. It's quite similar, but it's very different in the same regards. And then they're very, very different honeycomb looking roofing, which, oh my goodness, look at this. This is crazy with the textures. You got these plates in the middle, you got the circles, and may I say this also comes in all the vaulted pieces that you had in the Arena DLC is all included in this one. So this is the second DLC, only to have this kind of context in here with the vaulted ceiling pieces, archways, etc., which means you can make canals and all that good business. This DLC also has some very splendid looking stairs. The railings I really dig, and then you have the simple white going along too. Now I think we've waffled enough about the actual building pieces and stuff like that, so let's have a look at the actual armour. This is called the Argosian Marina outfit, so that's a bit of a mouthful for me, I must admit, but it looks very smart. I never thought I wanted to see a male in fishnets, but here we go. There's a view of the back end. I'll show them all on the female as well, just so you can see the comparison as well. But it will be done on me, since I've had to record this video on the Test Live client. Something you'll like about the ARGOS Mariner's outfit is it's actually a light strength set. So you have bonus strength and it's light, so that is really good. It is a heat set, just so you know, as well. Next one we're looking at is the ARGOS Gladiators set. So this is a medium set. You can see here on our Spinners, who is going to give us a little show of all the bits and pieces to do with this. It has a nice little tail on the end of his helmet too. He looks pretty bulky in this, I must admit, but I do like the design going on here. I think I do prefer the actual chest plate on the female model in comparison to the male model. However, it's very different and I do enjoy it, and just because I don't like it doesn't mean other people are not going to like it. So, there you go. And I can already think of many outfits I would use the skirt for, so... The Gladiator set is a medium bonus grit set. It is also focused in heat too. And next we're on to the ARGOS Phalanx. This looks really nice actually. You've got the fish scale look here, which really complements the actual DLC itself, since it's to do with kind of Greek and fishing. So it goes very well. The helmet also does very good justice on it. You can see they have animated the wind blowing very well into the feathers up top. And then you can have a little back view there. You can see he's got a little scarf going on there that's draping off, which I like. And then the bottom part goes really well into the top part, and you got some nice texturing on the shoulders. And the Phalanx set is all bonus vitality, and it gives heat protection. So this is a heavy Vit heat set. I think you'd also be pretty glad to know in this DLC they include 3 new horse armors. So we have the first one, this is the heavy war horse. I really freaking love the back design on this, where it's kind of shelling off, kind of like a lobster tail would. Then you have the scaling as well on this outfit here. Then you have the Cavalier set, so this is the medium one. Again, you got this nice design up the neck. And this nice bit on the back saddle. It also has a funny little ponytail on the back that kind of looks like it's made of straw, so that's pretty cool. Then we have the Scout set that I thought looked really, really nice on a black horse. So you have these bits hanging off there. Very knight look actually, I found with the look on this one. And then it also has the helmet on it as well. Now let's move on to the weapons and shields. We have one shield here, you can see displayed by this guy. It looks pretty fancy looking. Then we can move on to our weapon display. We have a lot of weapons in this one, including the Great Axe and Sword. So starting off with the Great Sword, Warhammer, Great Axe, Mace, the Pike, which is pretty much a pitchfork, normal War Axe, Sword, and Short Sword. But that pretty much sums up everything in this DLC. Now, would I recommend you buy it? From my own opinion, from what I've seen, I was worried at first with the similar designs on the walls. However, I feel like they have redeemed themselves with this DLC with all the other really cool items, and I would say there is enough in there to make it worthy of a purchase. So decide what you want from this one, but I would say it's definitely one that you don't want to miss out on, especially with the fountains and the new statues. They are really, really different from what's in the current Conan, and you also have this really nice measure of stuff in this one. So it has this perfect balance of armors, weapons, it has some decor there too, it has the building pieces in there too, has the flags, has the items, it has a bit of everything. So that's why I like it. Something with a bit of everything is something that I really like in a DLC, because that means you can kind of have the theme all over, covered in all bases, so you don't have to have an odd looking creature for the set. So pretty much, yes, I do recommend you buy this one. I like it. That's a Kiahonfire seal of approval right there, so bam! But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, if you'd like to have a look at other DLCs, I have a new DLC comparison video. If you haven't already seen it, it will cover the rest of the DLCs, and maybe if you're looking to buy a DLC, It will help you in deciding which one you actually want. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!